Hi, peace and blessings. Today is day 6 in the 40 Days of Spiritual Love with me, Jovhannah, the Spiritual Love Coach. I did take a break yesterday, and I needed that. So I am back and ready to talk more about spiritual love. So because I took a break yesterday, I am going to also do an additional video because the other day we were talking about the different types of relationships. So I do want to continue that also. But today I want to talk to you about something that was kind of placed on my heart and mind. And that is that we cannot separate love from life. And so often that's exactly what we do, because when we say love, we automatically think dating, we think relationships, we think falling in love with someone, but we don't extend it to other areas of our life. And so it's like we kind of put love in this little box, and we often forget about self-love as well, because we have to, of course, love ourselves. And one of my favorite quotes comes from the song Very Special by Deborah Laws. I think it came out in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. And she says, life is love and we are living. And that is the absolute truth. We were all created from an act of love. That's how we all got here. And the more that we're able to see that life and love is synonymous, that it's the same, then we can come from a more loving place. A lot of times we think we have to reserve our love for certain things, for certain people, so we are kind of out of alignment instead of just being in a loving state all the time. And even the act of falling in love, we feel like it's something that, we need like some sort of trigger or event to happen in order for us to go into a state of love. But we can be loving and experience love in all different aspects of our lives. And that's one of the things that I cover in the Spiritual Love Masterclass. When we can really just acknowledge that all different aspects of our life, we can hold that space for love, that when we go to work, we can be in a loving state. When we eat our food, we can, be in a loving state. We can show love to other people without needing to have some sort of connection or some reason behind it. The more that we try to separate love from our life, more disconnection and disharmony comes in. There's a lot more judgment, there's less compassion. And that's one of the things that I strive to do, is to really truly root myself in love as a business owner, as a coach, as a healer, as a mom, as a person. That's one of the things that I strive to do, is to really walk in what I'm teaching and the things that I'm bringing to other people. One of the ways that I kind of check myself is constantly evaluating my thoughts. Okay, where is this coming from? Is this something that's loving? Why do I feel, that this is out of alignment? What's going on here? And so yesterday I did want to come on and do a video, but it resonant with me at that time. So I gave myself space to take a break, and that's okay. So instead of beating myself up and be like, oh, I didn't, I missed today or anything like that. No, I approached it from a place of love, and I was gracious with myself to give myself the time that I needed to have a break and to decompress. So that's one of the things that really has been on my heart and mind to talk about, is how life is love. The act of living each day is an act of love. And when we start to shift how we look at things, like how we're driving, like when you get in the car, are you angry and laying on the horn and cutting people off? Or are you carrying a state of peace and joy with you as you move throughout your day, throughout your day-to-day tasks? And even with cooking, you can tell when something was prepared with love and if it's not prepared with love. There are different experiments where they have one plant and they speak affirmations of love and life and positivity, into a plant, and then the other plant kind of gets bullied, and they're saying negative things to the plant. And there is a difference. The plant that has been cared for and taught to gently and kindly flourishes, where the other plant that had all of the negative thoughts and things like that, the bully plant, you could tell, was kind of wilting. It was not flourishing like the other plant was. And I think that's a really good example of how, we can't separate life and love. If even a plant is impacted by negative energy, if it's not in a consistent, loving environment, then it's not growing to its full potential. And that same thing can be translated to us as humans, as people. And oftentimes, one of the things that I can say that motherhood has blessed me with is a completely different perspective on how I show up as a parent and the things that I teach my daughters. And a lot of us don't grow up in the most loving of environments. Our parents are only able to do the best they can with what they have at that time, and sometimes it does not serve us. It doesn't help us grow to our full potential. So seeing that and being able to shift it so that my daughter is growing up in a positive, loving environment, I know that the impact that can have when love is part of your life, and when you look at life as love in action, instead of just, oh, well, love is just, the people that I'm in a relationship with, or love is just for my family. And, if I go into a room full of strangers, I don't have to give anything. I can close my heart off and, just be there. But if we can kind of change that and see that love is not just, for romance, that love can be a state of being, it's a state of mind, and it's a way of a life. Because we can respond to a situation from a place of love, you can respond out of anger or out of fear. And the more that we start to choose love, the more that we come back into our heart center, the more peaceful our life will be in so many different areas. So that was my spiritual love nugget for the day. Just that we really cannot separate life and love. And some of the things that we explore in the Spiritual Love Masterclass are ways to really start to notice the love that's all around you and how to pull it into your life. So a lot of the work that I do as a spiritual love coach with my clients is not just so that they can find love externally, but also that they know that love is already within them, so they can pull that out and start to look at themselves differently, start to have a different way of looking at their relationships, whether it's self-love, whether it is intimate relationships, and just a different way of looking at life in general. Because I noticed that even in the spiritual love tarot readings that I do, a lot of people want to know, okay, is this person the one? When am I going to find love? And my cards always guide me back to that person, like making sure that they are prepared for love, making sure that they are in a healthy space for love to come in so that they can give and receive love. And so when we start with ourselves, that kind of helps everything else fall into place versus trying to look externally outside of yourself and missing all of the different aspects of love. So I definitely want to talk more about that, because there's so many different topics that I can cover that relate to really embracing love in your life. And so that was just one, is that, we really cannot separate love and life. And when we start to live from a place of love, that's really when things start to change. Inside of the Spiritual Love Circle, which is a private group I have here on Facebook, a lot of the things that I talk about are, personal growth. This year has really been a lot about, hey, Coach Roz, it's been a lot about really building yourself up and getting clear on what do you want for yourself, and making sure that you have that foundation within yourself, so that when you do go out and you start dating, or you want to call love into your life, or maybe you want to find work that you love, you start to cultivate those experiences, that your mind is no longer distracted with fears or with doubts or with negative habits and patterns from the past that were helping you to sabotage yourself from getting what it is that you truly want to experience, whether it is in a loving relationship or whether it's a different area of your life. So that is it for today. And I may come back to talk about the 4 relationship types a little bit later today. So be on the lookout for that. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I'm looking forward to talking with you more on the 40 Days of Spiritual Love series. Peace.